Welcome to day 3 of the Couch to Pole Kickstarter. Today's video is going to be about grip strength. And so grip strength is a funny one. That's not something we often encounter workouts for, and the exercises for it will feel strange at first. It's not your typical kind of workout, but it's super useful in pole because we're constantly gripping onto the pole, and that's one of the main problems that people have when they start out is that they don't have much grip strength because that's just not something that we focus on. Even people who have strong arms, they have the arm strength to hold themselves up and not the grip strength. And so for this workout, I am using a few household items. I am using a rubber band. Kind of the thicker the rubber band, the harder it'll be, the thicker and smaller. So kind of gauge your level with what size rubber band you want to use. And I'm using some balled up socks, actually. You can also substitute in a stress ball if you have one, or a tennis ball, but just take a few socks and roll them up together, and that works just as well. And the last thing I'm going to use is a book. You can use any book, but preferably a good size book. The bigger the book, the harder. And those are my 3 items that I'm using. We're going to start out without any of the equipment. You're just going to come up on your hands and knees, and you're going to turn your hands so that your fingers point back towards your knees. And so this stretch feels a little odd. It should just stretch right down your arm and your forearms. Your grip strength comes from both your hand muscles and the muscles in your forearms, which are all muscles that we don't intentionally work that often. And so we're just going to hold this stretch for a few seconds, and then we're going to start one by one trying to lift each finger off the ground. And your finger won't really come off the ground, maybe 1 or 2 will, but it's just that motion of trying that's going to really increase the strength in your hands. So go ahead and start one by one trying to lift up each finger. Your thumb will probably come up off the ground a little bit. And lift each finger. It feels weird because nothing's happening, but you should be able to feel your muscles working as you try to lift each finger. So you can go through each finger once or twice. Very good. And so you can sit cross-legged. The next one we're going to do looks really silly. You're going to take one finger, point it straight out to the side, and then the other hand is just going to come as if it was going to squeeze that finger and then pull with those fingers. So clamping those fingers together and pulling. You don't actually have to touch this finger, but having it there actually really helps. And so you're forming a little cup right here in the palm of your hand as you pull back. And it's a motion looks like a squid pulling. So you can go ahead, do this a few times, and switch sides. Great, and now I'm going to reach for this ball of socks, or your tennis ball, or your stress ball, or whatever you have that you can squeeze. So you're just going to put your hand around it, and you're just going to start squeezing. We're going to squeeze 20 times. Great, and switch to the other side. You want to squeeze hard to really work those muscles. Good, and so that's a great thing to do. You can do it at your desk. Just take a second to squeeze a tennis ball or a stress ball 20 times. It's something you can kind of do anywhere. And so now we're going to switch out. We're going to grab the rubber band. And so you're going to put the rubber band around all your fingers on one hand. And then you're just going to stretch your fingers out. So we'll do this 20 times as well. Starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this is easy, you can always add more rubber bands. Just make sure you don't snap them on yourself. And go ahead and switch to your other hand. This is another great thing that you can just do at work, anywhere. Looks kind of silly, but it works. Halfway there. And there you go. The final exercise we're going to do is with a book. So grab any book and you're going to hold it in this pinch grip. If you have a really heavy book, sometimes this might even just be a great workout. And if your book's a little lighter or this is easy for you, you can start walking the book through your hands. So you're going to have your thumb on one side, your fingers on the other side. You're going to grab on, and then you're going to scoot your thumb down the book, and then your fingers. Thumb down, fingers down. Thumb down, fingers down. Thumb down, fingers down. Thumb down, fingers down. And so on until you get to the other side. And then you're going to go back. I find going back much harder. Just walking your hand down. You should definitely start to feel this. Also, just holding the book up is going to be a great workout for your arms and shoulders as well. So depending on the size of your book and how hard this is for you, you can go back and forth as many times as feels good. And then you can go ahead and do it on the other side. So walking your fingers and your thumb. And going back the other direction. And this other direction is kind of tricky, but you should be feeling this in your hands. And there you go. And those are our grip strength exercises for this particular video. There's lots more you can do, but grip strength often the exercises need some kind of equipment. And so these are great because you can use household things that you can probably find around your house or your office. And some other great ideas, if you go to a gym, the little weight clips that you put on the end of a barbell, squeezing those, really, really great for grip strength. So if you have those at home or you go to a gym, spend a few minutes trying to squeeze those and you'll get a great grip strength workout that way too. If you have a pole, just practicing gripping the pole, even just gripping, I know grip will kind of be a limiting factor for some beginners, but you will get there just practicing and doing these exercises. It will greatly improve your grip strength. And so great work. This was the third workout of the 5-day Couch to Pole Kickstarter. 2 more days to go. You're over halfway done now. And I will see you tomorrow. Check your inbox for your next workout.